Your trusted carry-on could get you flagged in 2025, and airlines aren't saying a word. You've taken it on dozens of flights. It's been tossed into overhead bins from coast to coast. But this year, your favorite carry-on might be quietly disqualified, and you won't even see it coming. Across airports, travelers are being stopped at the gate. Bags that passed last year, rejected, gate-checked, or hit with surprise fees bigger than the flight itself. What changed? Not the belts, not the bins, just the rules, enforced silently, without warning, by gate agents following new airline mandates most passengers haven't heard of. And here's the part no one's talking about. Over 60% of carry-ons in use today are now technically oversized. That's not speculation. It's what the new industry size charts show. At the gate, someone is watching, measuring, denying. While you're rushing to board, your bag might be the next to get pulled and penalized. This isn't a glitch, it's a quiet shift, a pattern. And if you're not ahead of it, you could lose more than your luggage. You could miss your flight, your connection, your plans. So if you're flying this year and haven't subscribed yet, you're basically flying blind. Hit that button, or don't, and find yourself in the comments later, furious and grounded, while someone else breezes past with a compliant bag and a confirmed seat. In 2025, airlines did something they've never fully managed before. They agreed on one standard size for carry-on bags. 22 by 14 by 9 inches. That's it. No exceptions, no airline-specific loopholes, handles and wheels included. It sounds simple, but here's the twist. The majority of carry-ons on the market, about 6 out of 10, no longer qualify. That includes the one sitting in your closet right now, the same one that's followed you through TSA lines, short connections, and red-eye flights for years. Yes, that one. It might be beautiful, durable, $300 worth of features and false hope, but if it's even a fraction too large, it's now a liability. Why? Because gate agents aren't eyeballing bags anymore. They're using upgraded sizers, precise, rigid, unforgiving. A bag that sticks out by a half an inch doesn't go through, doesn't go on. And just like that, your carry-on becomes checked luggage, with fees you didn't plan for and a weight you didn't sign up for. That extra front pocket you love for charges and gum, that might be what disqualifies your entire bag. So here's the fix, and it's not glamorous. Measure it. Not roughly, not by guessing. With a digital tape, fully packed on a hard surface. Because unless your luggage folds like origami, it's time to rethink your go-to. If the bag doesn't pass the box test now, it won't pass at the gate. You've zipped it shut. You've squeezed it into the sizer. But there's one more test your bag now has to pass. The scale. In 2025, weight limits are no longer guidelines. They're enforced, quietly but aggressively. Most airlines are setting hard caps between 17 and 22 pounds, or 8 to 10 kilograms. And they're not just weighing at the counter. Some check-in kiosks now come with built-in scales. You set your bag down, and the judgment begins. The worst part? You might be stopped before you even reach security. If your carry-on tips past the limit, gate agents are flagging it. You're not arguing your case. You're reaching for your credit card. That's a $100 to $150 surprise charge. And no, you won't be boarding early to make up for it. But there are workarounds. If you're traveling with electronics, cameras, lights, mics, laptops, ask about media bag exemptions. Some airlines will allow extra items or added weight if your gear is professional grade. Second tip, wear your weight. Heavy jacket? Put it on. Chunky boots? Lace them up. You can always peel layers off after you board, but you can't argue with the scale. And if you're packing tech, split the load. Carry what you can in your personal item, move chargers and backup drives to your under-seat bag. Every ounce counts when you're working with strict caps. And now a practical warning. Don't wait to learn this the hard way. Subscribe so you're not the one crying over a $150 overweight fee while a subscriber walks by with a smug smile and a compliant bag. Because once that kiosk screen turns red, there's no going back. You thought your carry-on was the problem? Think again. In 2025, the real crackdown is on personal items, the one bag no one used to worry about. Airlines have set new maximum dimensions, 18 by 14 by 8 inches. That's smaller than most laptop bags, and much smaller than that harmless tote you've been sliding under the seat. But here's the shift. They're actually enforcing it now. Gate agents are scanning the crowd, looking for backpacks with bulk, totes with extra give, duffels that clearly won't fit under a seat, even if you swear they did last time. And yes, people are being stopped. That oversized tote you love could be gate checked before you even board. And if your carry-on's full, guess where the overflow goes? Checked, with a fee. But you're not without options. Use a compression sleeve for clothes and tech. It flattens your load, hides bulk, and fits into slimmer bags. Minimalist packing isn't just stylish, it's survival. Laptop, charger, passport, snacks. Nothing extra. No just-in-case items, no backup books, no bulky cosmetics bag with half your bathroom inside. If it doesn't serve you in the first 3 hours of your flight, it doesn't belong in your personal item. Visualize this. 2 travelers at the gate. One gets waved through with a sleek, compliant bag. The other, pulled aside, frustrated, paying $80 to gate check what used to be a free item. Which one do you want to be? This is no longer about loopholes. It's about knowing the new lines and staying inside them. You'd think by now airport liquid rules would be clear. But in 2025, confusion is built into the system. The 311 rule, limiting passengers to 3.4-ounce containers in a single quart-sized bag, is being phased out, but only in some places and at different speeds. While certain U.S. airports are upgrading to new scanners that allow full-size liquids and carry-ons, others are still locked into the old procedures. It means 2 passengers leaving from different terminals in the same airport might be subject to entirely different screening experiences. Internationally, the inconsistency is worse. A traveler connecting through London, Amsterdam, or Doha might encounter completely different enforcement standards, even on the same day. You're not just navigating airport security, you're navigating outdated policies mixed with half-implemented reforms. It creates a silent trap, assuming one airport's leniency will apply everywhere. To avoid delays or confiscations, the strategy now is precision. Always pack liquids in a removable pouch, not just for compliance, but for control. If you're flagged, you want to reach in and hand over your liquids without opening your entire suitcase. Keep larger containers, like lotion or shaving cream, in an external zipper pocket. It's faster to access and less likely to result in a repack under pressure. But the biggest oversight travelers make is not checking the liquid rules for their layover airport. Just because your departure and arrival points are lax doesn't mean your stopover will be. Some European hubs remain rigid, while others, like Dubai or Istanbul, have already moved on from the 311 rule. Don't rely on assumptions. Check each airport's current rules before you pack. At its core, this isn't about smuggling full-size shampoo. It's about avoiding pointless holdups caused by inconsistent enforcement. You're not challenging the rules, you're managing them intelligently in a system that hasn't caught up with itself. And while liquid restrictions might seem outdated, there's something far more current that still catches even seasoned travelers off guard. One misplaced lithium battery can get your bag pulled mid-flight. Electronics and battery power, risk and data. Airports have always been obsessed with what's inside your bag. But in 2025, it's not just what you carry, it's whether your devices can prove they're alive. At more checkpoints across the US and abroad, you may be asked to power on your electronics, especially laptops, tablets, and cameras. A dead device isn't just useless, it's a liability. And if it won't boot up when requested, it might not fly at all. Then there's the growing scrutiny on power banks. You see them everywhere. People charging in terminals, lounges, gate floors. But most travelers still have no idea there's a limit. Under 100 watt-hours, you're fine. Between 100 and 160, that requires airline approval. Anything above 160, it doesn't matter how expensive it was or how fast it charges, it's not coming with you. And these aren't rules tucked away in fine print. They're being enforced. More carry-ons are flagged for unverified battery capacity, and some airlines now require passengers to show the watt-hour rating printed on the label. If your power bank doesn't clearly display it, or worse, if the label is worn off, it may be confiscated on the spot. The smarter move? Always pack your power bank in your personal item, not your checked luggage. Keep your cords in the same place. If your phone dies mid-layover and you're digging through your suitcase at the gate, you're not just slowing yourself down, you're drawing attention. And in today's travel climate, that kind of attention can turn into questions, extra screening, or missed boarding calls. There's a quiet irony here. We live in an age of constant digital connection, but a single dead battery can now get your entire carry-on bag pulled aside. And that Kindle, it won't save you if it's dead on arrival. But what's coming next might be even more invasive. Not what's in your bag, but what your face reveals before you even reach the gate. They thought they were ahead of the curve, buying smart luggage that promised GPS tracking, USB charging, built-in locks, and app-controlled convenience. But that sleek, futuristic suitcase, it's now a liability. One traveler flying out of Denver learned that the hard way.
At the check-in counter, everything seemed fine until the agent noticed a small logo indicating the bag had a non-removable lithium battery embedded in the base. No key, no latch, no access, just smart by design. The airline had one response: "You're not boarding." He missed his flight, not because he packed wrong, but because the luggage was too intelligent for its own good. Here's the rule nobody talks about until it's too late. If your luggage has a built-in battery, it must be removable. That's not a suggestion, it's a hard line set by nearly every major airline and reinforced by the FAA. Batteries pose fire risks in cargo holds. Even if your smart bag is in carry-on, gate agents are trained to check. Some now carry quick check cards to identify prohibited models. If your battery can't be pulled out on the spot, your suitcase doesn't fly. Neither do you. And it's not just about the battery. Many travelers assume USB ports or Bluetooth trackers are fine, and they are, with one condition: all smart components must be independently shut off or removed during the flight. A glowing light or humming GPS signal under the scanner is enough to trigger a manual bag search or even denial of boarding. The smarter move? Choose luggage that makes you smarter, not just itself. Look for external battery sleeves, TSA-compliant designs, and detachable modules. If you can't pull the battery out faster than TSA can say random search, you're carrying risk disguised as convenience. And once you clear security and head toward your gate, a new kind of stress takes over, one that has nothing to do with safety and everything to do with overhead bin politics. Because the real premium space on modern flights, it's not the seat, it's the bin above it. In 2025, more airlines have quietly adopted a new policy. Overhead bin access is now stratified. The higher your ticket class, the earlier your boarding group, and the more likely you are to find bin space above your seat. If you're economy or basic fare, you may be walking to row 25 with your bag, only to backtrack to row 8 for storage, if there's space left at all. And once the bins are full, the rules change. Flight attendants start tagging carry-ons for gate check. That means being separated from your laptop, meds, or anything else you didn't plan to surrender. The hicks no one tells you is don't treat the bin as a guarantee. Treat it as a luxury. Always keep critical items in your personal item, under the seat. That's your true last line of control. Better yet, if your boarding group is 5 or higher, assume the bins will be full before you get there. Check in online early, pay for early boarding if it's an option, or use elite hack number 1. Sit near the gate and line up before your group is called. That 60-second head start can make the difference between keeping your bag and handing it off to baggage roulette. The irony? Overhead bins have become the new Black Friday aisle, except now the shelves are 30,000 feet in the air. And if you've made it this far and still haven't hit subscribe, I can only assume you enjoy chaos. That's cool, totally valid. Just do us one favor, drop a comment and explain why you love surprise fees and public humiliation. No judgment. Okay, maybe a little. But before you board that next flight, let's make this smarter together. What rule tripped you up lately? What changed mid-trip with no warning? Share it below. Someone else needs that insight more than you know. That's how this channel works. One sharp traveler passing the torch to the next. Because travel may be evolving, but you're about to evolve faster.